Joe has been nominated for a controversy because he unexpectedly passed away in July, the victim of a bicycle accident. As a 77-year young man, he was training for the STP when he was hit and killed in an accident. Joe is a volunteer firefighter for 30 years. In addition to numerous functions he managed for the fire department, he was a driving force behind the Give Burn the Boot campaign as part of the department's Burn Foundation fundraiser. Most years, he could be seen driving an antique Model T in the Viking Fest parade. He was the kind of guy who would help out just about anybody, and that included a stranded passenger in Montana who was changing a tire, to elderly people who just needed a sign repaired or a tree removed. He was always seen at the annual Touch a Truck event in Paulsboro, helping to brighten kids' lives as they got to see and play around big fire equipment. That's Joe Vlach. The person selected for the Paulsboro Chamber of Commerce Person of the Year is Joe Vlach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming up. On behalf of the community, we're sorry for your loss, for your family. It's too bad, but we're glad that we can recognize him and recognize you for his work in volunteering. I got to know Joe because I was a fire truck Santa. I know I look a little thin for that role. Acting. He was always such a friendly and kind guy. I just always loved his enthusiasm. He was just one of my biggest cheerleaders, as if Santa would ever need one. Joe certainly was a great guy for that. Tell us a little bit about your dad and your husband.
Well, I'll tell you what I can tell you in this event. My dad didn't have an off switch. For those of you who knew him, he could be a very big presence, and if you wanted him there, he was always there, and if you didn't want him there, he was always there.
And you were his namesake,
I'm Joe Vlach.
Can you introduce everybody?
Some people tell me I look like him. I got my brother Scott here, who he got the hair. I got my dad's hair. You can't see because he always wore a ball cap. I got my mom here, Sherry Vlach, and my sister-in-law, Lisa, and my wife, Holly.
Love you guys.
And my brother Rick is here. He's not up here. My brother Rick's up there.
So, what inspired him to stay so active and do all the things that he did?
Well, they have this thing called ADHD now. My dad definitely had that. He was always active. And I think from a young kid, we learned, hey, you want to go to Disneyland? How many people have been to Disneyland? All right. Well, we went to Disneyland because my dad said, if you want to go to Disneyland, you're going to go out and you're going to pick up aluminum cans in the ditch, and when we get enough cans, we'll go to Disneyland. So that was my dad. He was always moving, and he was always giving, from Paulsville Pee-wees to his love of his life was the Paulsville Fire Department. 33 years in the fire department. He absolutely loved that, and I can tell you, growing up with that beeper, there was times I wanted to kill that thing because it would go off and my dad was gone no matter what. But what he taught us was, this is your community, and you do whatever you can do to help make it better.
He volunteered in the fire department. Coast Guard was that his career?
He was in the Coast Guard for too many years. They tried to kick him out. Eventually, they said, you need to retire. Kind of like the fire department. I don't know if you know, but a good story about my dad is he had many cardiac events, as he would call them. one time he was training to be an inland fighter, and he was doing the endurance test, and he actually had a cardiac event during the test, and they had to hold him down to stop him from completing the test. So that was just how my dad was. He would never stop.
I know fire people are family, not just co-workers. Can we stand and, or have the fire people representing the family stand? One more question for you. I understand that your dad was a prankster. Anything that you want to share with us tonight on the Go Chamber Tonight show?
Well, I don't know where to start with that one. Yeah, my dad, he would love to give it right back. One of the things I really miss is my dad and my daughter had this great relationship, and he was the greatest grandpa that you could hope for. And he would love to tease the kids. And I don't know, from flipping for Pepsis to just, playing prank jokes. He could never get enough. So I'm sure he's up there right now and he's looking at all of us going, why are you all dressed up? Come on, what's going on? Let's get some work done.
Well, thank you very much. We're honored to be able to give this award to Joe and your entire family. It includes the fire team as well. Congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you.
When you have any